I'm sorry, the doctor had said, but she didn't stay to hear me cry. The room was cold. It's the kind of cold that slips into your bones and stays there. I stared at the ceiling, blank and bright, and then down at the sonogram photo in my hand. 2 tiny heartbeats that once were gone. The door creaked open. I didn't look. Didn't have to. I heard, he said. I closed my eyes. You heard? That's it. Zion stepped closer, but his footsteps didn't feel like comfort. They sounded like someone walking away, even before he said it. I can't do this anymore. I sat up. My voice cracked. What does that mean? He exhaled like he'd rehearsed this. I thought I could. I really did. But this is too much. Everything's falling apart. I stared at him. Our baby died, and you think you're falling apart? You don't understand, he whispered. This wasn't the life I wanted. I clutched the sonogram tighter, the edges cutting into my palm. Then why propose to me? Why pretend to care? I did care, he said, eyes darting anywhere but mine. But things change. My voice rose, sharp. No, you changed. He stepped back like my words hit him. I don't want to fight. Then leave. I spat. Just like that. Walk out. Make it easy. He hesitated at the door. I'm sorry, Alina. Tay, don't say my name like you. Didn't just rip my heart out. He looked at me for the first time, really looked. But I was done. He turned. The door clicked behind him, silence. Except for my breathing. Except for the crushing weight in my chest that wouldn't go away. Nurse Lena entered a few minutes later. She paused at the sight of me holding the sonogram, my hand trembling. He left, she asked softly. I nodded, eyes burning. She didn't say I'm sorry, thank God. I couldn't take one more empty apology instead. She pulled up the chair and sat beside me. Want some water? I shook my head. I lost my daughter 12 years ago, she said. She was 6. Drunk driver. Some pains don't go away, but you find a way to carry them. I looked at her, surprised. Why are you telling me this? 'Cause you're not going to break, she said firmly. Not forever, not like this. I feel like I already have. You're allowed to feel that? But he walking away? That's not on you. I laughed bitterly. It sure feels like it is. She leaned forward. Let me tell you something, Annie. Man who walks out on you at your lowest was never meant to stand beside you at your best. I didn't speak. I just let her words sink into the hollow space he left behind. Lena reached out, gently taking the sonogram from my hands. Keep it. Not because of him, but because it mattered. 'Cause they mattered. Tears spilled down my cheeks. They did. She gave a small nod, then stood. I'll be back in a bit with some tea. Real stuff, not the hospital kind. The door closed behind her. I looked at the ceiling again. I should have felt nothing, but I felt everything. And beneath the heartbreak, something else stirred. A quiet anger, a spark. He left, but I didn't die. I was still here, and I would survive. Because I had to. Beta, you have to eat something. I'm not hungry. Amy sighed from the doorway, holding a bowl of warm lentils. You've said that every day for 2 weeks. I mean it, every day. She set the bowl on my nightstand. You can't live like this. I turned my face to the wall. Then maybe I don't want to live. Silence. She didn't come closer. You think I don't know that pain? I carried your brother for 7 months before God took him. My voice cracked. Then you know I do. But I also know lying in this bed won't bring him back or fix anything. I didn't respond. You need to get up, take a shower, go outside. What for? I murmured to see how fast the world forgot I existed. She hesitated. Zion came by. I sat up fast. He what? Just once. To drop off your things. That's all. I laughed, bitter. My things? Like this was a breakup, not a death. Emmy picked up a scarf from the floor. It's not worth holding on to him. I'm not. Holding on to what I lost. Her eyes softened, but she didn't push. Just left the room, quiet like always. I reached for my phone. Big mistake, Liana's Instagram story played instantly. A beach, champagne, his arm around her waist, her giggle. New beginnings, my hand tightened around the phone. The next photo, his face smiling. Hers stilted up at him like she hadn't just stolen everything. I called her, I don't know why. Hello. Her voice was sweet. It's too sweet. She knew I was pregnant. She paused. Lena, you knew. It just happened. You were my best friend. You were broken, she said quietly. He was too. My breath caught. And sleeping with him fixed that? I didn't plan it. We didn't stop it either. She went quiet. You think I didn't feel guilty? I blinked hard, swallowing anger. No, I think you're still posting about him like nothing ever happened. I love him, Alina. That did it. Then you deserve each other, I whispered and ended. McCall, I curled back under the blanket. Everything ached. Body, my chest, my trust. A knock at the door. Go away. I brought chai, Amy said softly. I don't want any. She placed the mug down anyway. You can hate them. You can hate the world, but don't hate yourself. Don't hate myself, I said, staring at the ceiling. I hate that I let them in. Amy sat beside me. You didn't let them in. They forced their way through. I keep thinking, I murmured. What if I had said something different? Done something better? No, Beta. Her hand rested on mine. This is not your fault. Tears burned my eyes. I trusted her with everything. And she broke it. Zion was supposed to be the father of my child. Amy looked down, and he walked away from all of it. I don't know how to move on. You start small, she said. You get up, you shower, you drink your tea. One breath at a time. I wiped my cheeks, and after that, she smiled faintly. Then one day, you stop asking what went wrong and start asking what comes next. I stared at the plastic stick in my hand. Faint line, dot. Then another. I blinked. No, ... no way. Grabbed another test from the drawer, took it again, waited, counted every second. 2 lines, again, Amy. I yelled from the bathroom. Can you drive me to the clinic? She knocked on the door. You're bleeding again. No, I need a pregnancy test, a real one. Blood, she looked confused but nodded. Okay, go change. I'll start the car. Dr. Feroza folded her hands. Her office smelled like lavender and sterilizer. You said you had a miscarriage. That's what they told me at the ER 3 weeks ago. Heavy bleeding. Cramping. I thought it was over. She nodded slowly. Did they do an ultrasound? No, just a quick exam and painkillers. Sent me home. Her eyebrows rose. We'll do a scan now, just to be sure. I didn't breathe as I lay back on the exam table. Cold gel, screen, flickering, then 2 fluttering lights. I sat up. Wait, are those heartbeats? She said gently. There are 2. Her mouth went dry. I'm still pregnant. She smiled. You're carrying twins. One sac may have ruptured or detached early on, causing the bleeding. But both fetuses are alive and strong. My hands trembled. I thought I lost everything. You didn't. You're still a mother, Alina. Tears welled in my eyes. I don't even know how to process this. I'll help you. We'll monitor them closely. I wiped my face with the back of my sleeve. Zion doesn't know. She paused. Is he supportive? He left the day they told me I miscarried. Silence. Then he doesn't deserve. To know? She said quietly. Not yet. I nodded. Not ever. Back at home, I sat on the couch with both hands over my stomach. You okay? Amy asked from the kitchen. I'm pregnant, I said softly. Still, she turned. What, twins? They survived. She rushed over and sat beside me. Alina, I don't know what I'm doing, I whispered. You're doing exactly what you need to surviving. 2 weeks later, I dragged myself into the office. I needed to act normal. Pretend like my life wasn't quietly exploding. Faiza spotted me instantly. You're back. We missed you. I gave a weak smile. Yeah, well, Bills don't wait. She leaned in. You okay? Getting? There. Listen, if you ever want to talk. I'm good, I lied. She grinned, then pointed at my bag. Is that a prenatal vitamin bottle sticking out? I shoved it in quickly. What? No, just supplements. Faiza smirked. Girl, I know what those look like. Please don't say anything. I won't, she said, then added gently. But you don't have to hide it, you know? I do, actually. She hesitated. Zion, I looked at her. Yeah, she exhaled slowly. Say no more. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling again. Not from grief this time, from fear, from hope, from knowing that somehow, side all this pain, something had survived 2 heartbeats. Mine, and I didn't tell Zion, he didn't ask, and I didn't care, because now I had everything to fight for. She's back. I heard she faked the whole thing. I mean, who bleeds for 3 days and still claims she's pregnant? The voices weren't even whispers, just loud enough to sting. I kept walking, head high, shoulders tight. Alina, Faiza said, catching up beside me. Ignore them. I'm used to it, I muttered. She looked back. Tonya started it. Said you made up the twins to get Zion back. I stopped in my tracks. She what? She says Liana told her everything. That you're obsessed. That you lost it after the breakup. I laughed dryly. Funny how truth. Doesn't matter when pretty people lie, Faiza hesitated. You want me to talk to HR? No, I said. Let them talk. I'll show them. Later that day, I found a sticky note on my desk. Pregnancy Sympathy Act expired. Time to clock in. No name. No courage. Tonya walked by moments later. Hey, Alina, how's your imaginary twins doing? I looked up. They're doing great. Kicking, actually. She blinked. You're still pretending? You're still cruel, she smirked. Just don't drag Zion down with you. He's finally happy. I'm not dragging anyone, I said. I'm rising. I knocked on Samir's office door. Come in. He looked up from his screen. Alina, everything okay? Not really. He gestured to the seat across. What's going on? There's been harassment. Subtle but constant. Notes, rumors, comments. He nodded slowly. Tonya, mostly. But Zion and Liana. Feed it. I've heard things, he admitted. Nothing official. Till now. I placed the sticky note on his desk. He frowned. This is unacceptable. I'm not asking for favors. It's just fairness. You'll have it, he said. But off the record, how are you? I'm pregnant with twins. I'm tired. But I'm focused. Samir smiled faintly. Then? You're stronger than all of them combined. In the break room, Tonya sat with Liana giggling. I walked in. They went quiet. Liana stood. You look, ... tired. Motherhood will do that, I replied. She tilted her head, except you're not a mother. Yet she crossed her arms. Zion told me everything. You're clinging to a man who left you. No, I'm building. Something he can't touch. Tonya scoffed. What, like your fantasy design firm? I smiled. Not fantasy. Scott, my first client. Their faces dropped. Good luck with your little dream, Liana muttered. Thanks, I said. Yours just turned into my fuel. That night, I opened my laptop. Pitch deck, business plan. Grant applications. I wasn't just fighting rumors. I was creating proof. Let them call me delusional. They'd soon call me boss. Push Alina. One more. I'm trying, God. I'm trying. You're almost there. I can see the head. I can't. Yes, you can. A sharp scream tore from my throat. And then a cry, loud, fierce, then another. I sobbed. Twins. The nurse smiled. Both safe, both strong. I reached out with shaking arms. Let me see them, please. 2 tiny red faces. 2 tiny lives. Hello, I whispered. Zara, Rayanne, Mom, do you want to hold them? Amy leaned down, tears in her eyes. You did this. No, we did this. They're beautiful, she whispered. It's just like you. I looked at my babies bundled in pink and blue. They saved me. 3 weeks later, I hadn't slept more than 2 hours straight. Rayan, please just one nap without a scream. Zara whimpered in the crib beside him. I bounced him gently. You two planned this, didn't you? Faiza's voice came from the hallway. Still alive in here, barely. She entered. With groceries, I brought snacks and coffee. Praise me, you're an angel. Have you slept? Does blinking count? She handed me a protein bar. Still working on your pitch? Midnight feeds are great for editing. You're insane, she said, laughing, but I admire it. I grinned. You'll admire me more when I land this client. Later that week, I sat across from a man in a crisp blazer. He tapped my design proposal. You did all this alone. I did it while raising newborn twins. He blinked. Impressive. I don't do excuses, only results. He leaned back, nodding. You're hired. I held in the scream. Thank you. Welcome to the big leagues, Alina. Back home, I kissed Zara's forehead. We did. She gurgled in response. Rayan kicked in his swaddle. I picked him up, you two, little man. You were part of this. Me, peeked in. They look peaceful. They are, I said, rocking him, and so am I, she smiled. You're glowing. Success does that, I said, and motherhood. That night, as they both finally slept, I stood by the window. City lights blinked below me. I thought of Zion and smiled. Not because I missed him, but because I didn't. He left thinking, I had nothing. Now I had everything. Did you hear Faiza slid her phone across the table? I looked down. A headline. Zion Malik's tech startup declares bankruptcy. I blinked. Took longer than I expected. Guess Hassan pulled his money. I raised a brow. His own partner turned on him. Rumor is, Liana turned on him first. I sipped my coffee. Let me guess. She cheated. With Hassan, wild, right? I smiled faintly. Actually, later that week, my phone buzzed. Zion, can we talk? I stared at the screen, then pressed block. Lena Faiza whispered at the client mixer. He's here. Ooh, Zion? Across the room, alone. I turned, slow. He looked thinner. Tired, cheap suit, no confidence. He didn't approach me. He just watched good.rehan joined me near the product display. That your work. All of it. I said, you're talented. Thanks. You're also different. Focused. Fierce. I had to become. He looked over at my twins playing with their nanny. You're raising them on your own. Raising them strong. He nodded. I get it. I'm a single dad too. And you understand, I said, smiling. He did. Faiza nudged me later. You think he regrets it? I looked toward the exit where Zion lingered, hesitating, double quotes no. I think he regrets losing access to you. To the version of me he thought would never exist. That night I lay between my sleeping children, silence wrapping around. Me like armor dot, he was falling apart, and I was finally whole. Alina, your booth is pulling the crowd again, Faiza said, grinning. I adjusted the display screen. Good. Let the work speak before I do. You nervous? Oh, no. I've survived worse than a crowd of investors. The business expo buzzed with energy cameras flashing, suits moving, voices pitching. I stood beside my Banner Lena design studio, watching people admire the clean lines. The attention to color, the precision I'd poured into every detail. Zara and Rayan played near the back with Saba, my assistant. Their giggles blended with the noise. Mommy juice. Rayan toddled over. Later, baby. Wait with Saba. Okay? I kissed his forehead and turned back to a woman asking about my pricing. Then I saw him. Across the room, slouched posture, wrinkled shirt. Eyes scanning lazily until they stopped. Stopped on me? No. Recognition. Until he looked past me and saw them. His face turned white. Lips parted. Eyes narrowed. Zara turned toward him, her nose. His. Her stare. Mine. He blinked. Then walked forward. like the ground had vanished under his feet. Alina. I didn't move. Those kids, are they yours? Obviously. He licked his lips, stepping closer. Both twins, Zara and Rayanne. Therefore, his throat bobbed. For that. That lines up, does it? Alina, he said, voice trembling. They mine? I stared straight at him. They were. You're 4 years too late. Why didn't you tell me? Didn't ask? You left me in a hospital bed and moved on within a week. I thought you lost everything. I laughed, bitter. I didn't. I found everything. I had a right to know. No, you had a choice. You made it. You walked away. I would have come back if what? If they looked like you? If I begged? I didn't know, Alina. God, I didn't know. I know. And I made peace with that. But don't confuse guilt with love. He looked over at them again. They look like you. No, they look like us. But they only have me. I miss so much, he whispered. That was your decision. Can I meet them? Just once? I stepped back. No. His voice cracked. You hate me that much? No. I healed too much to hate you. Then why? Because showing up broken doesn't earn you fatherhood. Faiza appeared beside me. Everything okay here? I nodded. Just an old contact. Leaving. He stared at me like he was trying to memorize the face he once discarded. I turned and walked back into the hall. Behind me, he didn't follow. Zara tugged my sleeve. Who was that man? No one important, sweetheart. She grinned. Can we get juice now? I smiled. Let's go. He showed up at the daycare. Zara was painting a sun. Rayan was stacking blocks, and Zion just stood there, frozen, like time had betrayed him. I stepped in front of him. You're not supposed to be here without notice. I know. I just ... I needed to see them. That's not how this works. Sorry, he whispered. We sat outside on the bench while Nurse Lena kept the kids distracted. I've been trying to get it right, he said. By showing up uninvited, I wrote letters, emails. You didn't answer. I didn't owe you a reply. I know, but I needed to try. Why now? Because I can't sleep. Because I see their faces every time I close my eyes. You think guilt makes you a father? No, but I want to earn the chance. Too late for firsts. You miss them crawling, walking, talking. I want whatever time you'll give me. And what do I tell them? That the man who left suddenly cares? Tell them I was stupid, scared, young, all the things I hate about myself. That's your burden, not theirs. He looked down. You're right. I always was. You just didn't listen then. I'm listening now. It's easy when your world's falling apart. Maybe I had to lose everything to see what I threw away. You begged me once to be patient. I begged you not to leave. One of us kept begging until we broke. And now you don't beg for anything. I don't have to. I have everything I need. He wiped his eyes. I'll do anything. Supervised visits, weekends. I'll sign whatever you want. This isn't a negotiation. It's their life. I want to know them. Even if they never call me dad, they'll never earn that title with words. Zion? Then let me earn it with time. I studied his face. It looked worn. But sincerity doesn't erase damage. Nurse Lena will supervise. 1 hour a week. You bring nothing but honesty. He blinked. You'd trust me? No, but I trust. The next Saturday, he arrived on time. Lena opened the door with a knowing smile. You clean up better than last time. Trying my best, ma'am. She nodded. We'll see. I stood in the hallway, listening. Hi, I'm Zion, he said gently. Zara stared. Are you Mommy's friend? Something like that. Rayan looked unimpressed. You like dinosaurs? I do now. Then you can play. When they laughed, it didn't sting. Because I'd built a world where their joy wasn't dependent on anyone's return. Later, Lena poured me tea. He held himself back. Didn't push. Just watch them. Let them lead and... He's broken, but not pretending anymore. That's a start. Forgiveness takes time, Alina. I'm not offering forgiveness. She raised a brow. Then what is this? A controlled storm. I'm watching who survives it. He texted that night, "Thank you for letting me try. I won't waste it." I stared at the message, then at the twins asleep beside me. They didn't need a father to complete them. But if he wanted a second chance, he'd have to earn it from them, one moment at a time. "Are you sure about the marble finish?" Rihan asked, holding up the catalog. "Rihan, you've asked me that twice already. I just wanted to feel like you, not just luxury for the sake of it." I smiled. "Already feels like me. I own the building now, remember?" He chuckled. "Still can't believe you bought this place. The same building Zion used to flaunt about like it was his kingdom. Poetic, isn't it?" He looked out the tall glass windows. "Do you think he knows?" I turned back to my laptop. He knows. He stood across the street yesterday, just staring. He didn't come in, though. And you didn't wave? Why would I? I was busy signing an international contract. The preschool hallway buzzed with parents. Rayanne tugged at my scarf. "Mama, Miss Amber said I drew the best rocket." "That's because you did, my little astronaut." Zara ran up with glitter on her cheeks. "We made stars today. You two are stars." Rihan held the door. "They really shine. They've never known anything else." As we stepped outside, Zion leaned against his car. Zara pointed. "Mama, that man waved." "Didn't look. Some people wave and keep driving." "Let's go." He didn't drive away. By the time I strapped the kids in, he was standing near the car. "I don't want to fight," he said. "Then don't speak." "Can I talk to you? Alone?" I raised a brow. "You've had years. I saw your name on the building. You're late. Everyone saw it last week. It's everywhere. Vogue, Elle, London, Dubai, Alina Malik, the girl I left behind. I remember you built everything we dreamed of." "No, I built everything I dreamed of. You were never the architect." He rubbed the back of his neck. "You're really not going to let me say it? What is it? That you regret it? That you wish you'd stayed?" "Yes, all of it." "You think I waited for your guilt to bloom?" "No, I held to screaming babies at 3 a.m. with no milk and no answers. I didn't build this life for your applause. Not clapping, I'm just watching." "Good, stay behind the glass. That's where you belong." He stepped back. "You really hate me." "I don't. Hate requires energy. I have none to waste on you. You're colder now. I'm clearer now." Back in the office, Lena brought coffee. "He tried again," she asked, "like clockwork, and you?" I didn't flinch. That's growth. That's peace. Later, I stood by the floor-to-ceiling window in my corner office. Beneath me, the city buzzed like it used to scare me. Now, it moved for me. Rihan knocked gently. "Sorry to interrupt." "You're not." He placed the files down. "They're all signed. Paris next month. Let's do it." He lingered. "Your name's going to be on that skyline. It already is. Do you ever miss him?" he asked. "Not the real him. Maybe the version I imagined before the pain. You don't need him now. Never did. I just thought I did, and now. Now I only think about bedtime stories and contract deadlines." He smiled, and glitter on preschool cheeks. "Exactly." The twins snored on the couch, tangled in blankets and cookie crumbs. I tucked Zara's hair behind her ear. She mumbled something. About the moon, Rayon held onto her hand like it was his anchor. Lena whispered. "They feel safe. That's the point. You know, justice isn't always loud." I looked at her. "No, sometimes it's quiet. Like this." My phone lit up. Zayan. "I see it now. Everything I threw away. I just wanted you to know. You deserved better." I stared at the message, deleted it, then opened my laptop and wrote another chapter of my pitch deck. "You still get emotional. Rihan asked over lunch. Double quotes? No. I get satisfied. That's new. It's called closure, even without revenge. This is revenge. Look around. I didn't have to burn his world down. I just built my own. And he's not invited. Never was. Months later, at a gala in Milan, I walked the carpet in a gown I designed. Reporters called my name. Flashbulbs burst. Rihan leaned in. You ever? Imagine this. Only every night I cried myself to sleep with a baby on each side. You're living his dream, I'm living mine. He just never believed I could, and now he watches. From the seats, I walked the stage. I gave my speech without notes. I was told once that dreams needed backing, that ideas were fragile without a man to hold them. I believed it until I held my babies in one arm and blueprints in the other. Everything I needed was already inside me. Applause thundered. Zain sat in the third row. He didn't clap. He looked broken. I didn't care. Back home, I kissed the twins goodnight. Zara blinked. Mama, when we grow up, can we build tall buildings too? I smiled. You can build whatever you want, Rihan. Even rockets. Especially rockets. Outside, the city lights winked at me. Not a single piece of this life was handed to me. I took it brick by brick, without him, and it was more than enough.